So hey guys, welcome back to my channel again. In this video, we are going to see how to send a custom metrics to the DataDog. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to dive into the documentation. As we all know, we'll be getting somewhat like 15 days of free trial. If you don't know, I have logged into I have signed up to the DataDog. We'll get something like 15 days of free trial. You can also use that. So let's go to the documentation of metrics. If you see, if you hover on the metrics, we have all this options. We can find out the services they provide. So all those services, they has their own documentations. If you want, you can just go and take a look into it. So the main thing we are going to focus on today, it's a metrics, how to send a custom metrics to a DataDog, and we'll be seeing it here. So when you come to the explore method, you will see the custom metrics. Okay, great. So we'll be seeing the DataDog. We'll be seeing the custom metrics here. Okay. So to connect to the client, the first we have to do is we have to go to the API keys, where we can create API keys and application key. So we'll just type API key there, and we'll navigate to this API keys access. In the access tab, we'll be navigating to this API keys. Just create a new key, name it as test. If you want to, then just create it. So once this is created, you can copy this. I'll delete this, no issues. Okay, you can just make a note of it. So API key, and then API is this. So next we'll be creating a application key. Application key. Let's create new key. Test app. So once you create this, you'll get the application key. As of now, we'll just keep it out. Now, okay. So this is done. So we'll go for the documentation now. So we'll go for sorry. Okay, I'll go for APIs. API in the sense we are going to use an API keys. So for that, right, what we have to do is we have to install this DataDog API client. So we'll just say pip install. I have created a the folder where we can work around. So let's paste it there. I don't think pip3 will be there. Yeah, I think it's there. We just start creating a client. Then it says like custom. So that's good. So we'll go for metric documentation now. So it's like I'm here in the metrics, or else you'll just go from the starting. It's something like there's a metric the metric menu. We have to go for docs, and then we can go to metrics, custom metrics, right? And then submission to APIs. I'm going to use APIs now, so that's why. And then we can go for submit metrics. Second one is get metrics metadata. Yeah, we can go to this actually. Submit metrics we'll be having in a series way, so you can make use of these post commands as well. You can test it out in the postman if you want to. This they version 1 and version 2 as well. So I will stick with the latest one, which is v2. If you have code written in v1, so there's no much changes in the post calls. I think they will just syntax changes, I believe. So no issues. Okay, you can see the tags as well here. We won't be seeing the tags in the v2. We can add the tags separately. So that's the second thing. We'll be seeing this when we are coding it. Okay, so I'll go through the documentation a little bit so that you'll get some idea what we are going to do here. So we can do the metrics, submit a metrics using different methods, by using a PowerShell, by using APIs, by using all other curl commands and all. So I'm going to use Python now. So if you see when you hit the API, if you get the 202 response, then it says like that has been accepted. Okay, if you get 400, it says like error required, and then the example, I'll show you the example. It says bat request. If you go for 202, it says like this. So this means that this has already posted. The custom metrics has been pushed out. So there is no error. So these are the responses you'll get, like 408, 413 and 429. You can make if and else statements for this, and you can point out and can name you can sentence in the print statement whatever you want to. So I'll stick with the Python as of now. So let's copy this code. I think we have not much here. Just copy this and go to our code and paste it here. So let's remove this. We don't need the doc strings what we have created. I have a body where we have a metrics payload, and then I'm going to just change my name to metric name to what we need. So that will be let's say solution mix. Okay, as of now. So let's try with this, and then the type of the metrics unspecified. Let's keep that as it is. We don't need much. Then there's a value which is something like 0.07. So this should be a random way. I'll be sending it once I'll fix this everything. So I'll make as a local host as of now, local host, and then type is also local host. So the tags I am going to add, tags will equals to, and then I think this is the way of adding the tags, I believe. Let's hover on it. Says like list of strings, right? So this is the way. Okay, so the tags will be like method, okay, test, and then custom metrics, something like that. Anything, if you have your own tags, you can just pass those tags. Okay, metric. So this is the configuration we have to specify. I'm going to use that in the top of the head, where I'll be specifying the configuration inside this itself, where I'm going to pass. Okay, so the host will be host equals to my API key host, which is something this. Make sure you specify this US file also. So it's like you're in the US region, and then you have to specify. If you don't specify this as well, if you have API key and app key, that's more than enough. Okay, even that you can make the point. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this as a configuration. Configuration.api key. This is something like array type, which I'm going to pass it as a API key. Sorry, k is capital K, and then auth. Okay, this is something auth method we are going to call. So which will be equals to our API keys. Next I'll be adding this. Okay, I'll just copy this and add it here. I'm going to specify API key itself, but this is some app key. Okay, not API key. So you're thinking like why I'm using API key here. So this is something like it's not a mandatory thing. If you add API key off, then whatever you specify it here, right? That makes the difference. So here this is API key and this is app key. So I think you already know I have copied everything. So you'll get this if you go to your documentation. So if you go to your dashboard, go to this, search and tiny, and then select API keys, go to API keys, and then you'll get API key and then app keys. Okay, API key will be here. Just go and copy it, paste it here, API key. So this is API key, and if you go to application keys, whatever you have created, you just have to go and copy it. So this is something like application key. So this is done. This configuration is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this data to the metric. Okay, what metric? Which I have created just now. So submit a metric with a body. With a body, what I have created just now. So the metrics is solution keys. So let's start. I'm just going to run this. If you see this toggle here, just just a code runner. It's an extension. If you want to install, you can just install by using code runner. Okay, this is the extension, so no problem. So if you see, I have sent it. So you can see the errors nil, which is something like the proper response we are going to get from here. If you see, it's 202. So we are getting error empty. So that means our custom metrics has been sent to the DataDog. Let's go and explore it. Okay. So what was the metrics again? What I have added? It's solution gigs. So go to this, then search solution gigs here. You won't be getting. Okay, great. So go here and go to summary. Okay, we're going to tag that into the dashboard. Yeah, great. Then you got this the solution gigs here as a one hit and then open in the Metrics Explorer. So you'll get the whole bunch of the view. Okay, something one of the metric I got, which is 0.7. So what we are going to do now is we are going to make a for loop, which it goes on iteration, and this number, the points whatever I have added here, and that will be keep on moving. Do some testing here, right? So for loop, in the sense, let's go and create some small for loop. We'll test it out. It's like for I in range or E in range of 200 or 300, let's say print hello. Okay, so let's test this for loop whether this works or fine. So it's goes on into loop. Okay, so I think this makes sense, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to utilize this for loop, and then utilize this for loop, and then go here, make this as a something like this. And what we are going to do is we are going to make the whole body part and all those things into this. Okay, so that we'll get something get iterate by. Then this is something inside the for loop. Now we're going to iterate it for 300 times. By doing that, what I can do is I have to change this value, right? Keep on changing the value. So what we'll do is we'll keep a value to the random one, in the sense like I'm going to use a random package, random dot random integer. So integer will be something like 0 to 100, you can specify. So this, what it does is it will create a value, keep on creating a value each time whenever it's called. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, generates the value. You can add a comment out if you want to. So so it generates a random value each iteration. So this is something like whenever we iterate, it keeps on generating a new value, random value. So that's the plus point for us. Okay, and the main thing is this also goes on to changes. So I'm going to make a proper way of testing out. Okay, test dot solution gigs. Okay, so this is something like a new metric which I'm going to pass. Then also I don't have to specify this, so I'm going to say like custom metric, and then version is something like blah blah 2.0 or something, and then another one will be like region. If you want to specify anything, you can specify. If you have a proper data to flow, you can also add those tags, because what we are going to do is with the tags is we're going to use that tags to differentiate with the business purpose. Okay, so whatever you're getting losses and all those things, right, you can differentiate by using that. So something like that. I'm going to keep that inside this itself. This was outside of a for loop. Yeah, so this is great. So let's try to iterate. Let's start the program, and okay, great. So we have to import the random. So random is this, and also we're going to do one thing. If you see this time, the current time, it's already there. Huh? Okay, great. So I thought I'll keep a current time to specify. So let's go and run this program. It starts to send the records or the metrics to the DataDog. So we're going for the metrics again. We have to go to summary, where we can see the metrics to be popped out here. So where it is. Okay, so it still not yet came. Strange. So let's refresh this. What? So what's my metrics? Test dot solution gigs, right? Search it out. Yeah, it's there. So we have to give some time to that, so that it's popped out here. So I'm going to open this into a Metrics Explorer. Um, okay, so let's give a time. Voila. So we are going to see the data, right? So if you see the data, right, it's getting fluctuated. So that's what I needed, because I have added this, the points to be variation. So that's the point variation. If you want, if you have a specific value to that point, right, you can specify that point as well. So this is how we can add the metrics. Okay, so this is something like custom metrics we can plot, and then if you want to make something, the queries and all from here, where it is, I don't know, because I haven't added some much metadata to that actually. So if you have a metadata, then it will be useful. I think it stopped already. I think it stopped already. So if you want, right, you can just send something like, if you want to. I believe there is a something blocker to the free trial. I don't know, so we have to check on it. But until you can see, right, you can see the data. So it's getting flowed and stopped here. Then nothing. Again, it started from here. So if you see, so again it started from here. It peaked again, and then it's starting. So it's great. So we are seeing the data, right? So this is how we can send a metrics to DataDog. Next we are going to see how to send the data to logs. Okay, let's catch up in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, please give a like, and then you can comment out whatever whatever the problem you're facing, right? You can just comment it out. I'll try to help you. Thank you guys.